And we're about 5 meters off the bottom, but we're going to come back down here. Looks like a holosaur on the left.
Hi, Andrea. I know we're just getting settled, but I see there's already a whip-like thing back there, and at this depth and this sort of sediment, we may find some Lepidices caryophylla bamboo corals, and those would be the type of the genus, and so a lot of interest.
Okay. Can we do a quick zoom on the organism in the center?
Looks like there might be a sea star on it, too.
A snap zoom in the center.
Hard to tell.
Tim, go ahead.
I was making a comment, what might be on here. That's a ophiuroid. It may be either barnacles or amphipods on there. I can't tell.
Oh, at the top of that, yeah. We have we're filming a brittle star. On an octocoral.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that ophiuroid
That's
before.
a
It also has
seapen.
2 amphipods.
An amphipod on the tip.
It may be
Pennatulate.
perhaps Funiculina, but I don't really know.
There's another amphipod just down from the one on the tip. Like 2
Yep.
inches.
Yeah, I'm seeing 2 total, also a shrimp there, hovering.
Yeah, that's right.
The disc on that ophiuroid is rather square compared to others we've seen. That's something different, I think, than we've seen on this cruise so far.
And then there's another brittle star at the
Yeah.
base of this octocoral.
I think it's a sea-pen, Andrea.
Yep, the sea pen.
You think?
And Tim, I think those urchins were behind us.
Yeah, I think so too. Looks like we might see some more as we go too.
Yeah, they look to be those dark, the red ones that we saw with the commensal cuskgill. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. Okay. Oh, you can zoom out. They were behind us, pilot. What? Can you pan left, actually? There's something to the left of that C-pen. It's the same plane as your lasers.
Looks like a large Okeanos brittle star.
Yeah. Is this what you think you saw earlier when we first settled down? There's another C-pen in the back as well. So for folks out there, we're zooming in on another ophiuroid brittle star, and if you notice, this one is quite different than the ones that we were filming on the C-pen.
Is that another C-pen that's attached to, more or less?
It might be with hydroids attached. There's something else pink in the background there.
Yeah, it looked like a Paracapathes.
Yes.
Trying to see if that. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe another ophiuroid right there too.
So maybe a fallen over black coral skeleton. Yep, that's it.
And that's another brittle star behind there. It's sort of an orange-red one. And You normally see crabs, chirostylid crabs on this.
So we're just taking imagery
Right.
of a black coral that has been dislodged from the surface. It looks to be two brittle stars here. There's the white one, and then actually a couple of the pink ones. More of the Okeanos variety, not the Astroschema.
Science, just a thing of note, that one leg that's going off to the 3 o'clock time looks like it's not there. There's a little stub, and video's got all this that we need, so.
Yep, the brittle star is missing one arm.
Yeah, there's 3 lights here.
Yeah, we're good with that, thanks.
Great, thank you.
And we have another C-pen in the background here. And as we move, I think we can start moving. We can take a quick zoom of this urchin up ahead. And does anybody else want to look at the other C-pen in the back? Tim?
Yeah, things flying by is really nice. You don't have to really even zoom in.
Okay.
Just confirm there's an opioid or something else on there.
Yeah. So pilot, both zoom in on the C-pen here coming on the left and then the urchin in the top.
After that, this
Yep.
pink on the left here.
Yep.
So we'll start with that.
Correct. It's the first time we've seen these guys. I'll need to make sure we miss on them, and then we can go. Thank you.
Tim, could you repeat that, please?
No, I was saying that it's, this is the first time that we have seen the C-pens. We didn't see any these dive, I don't believe, but now to see these is great. And I can opioid with like a similar variety.
Yeah, we'll want to zoom in on
tightly
the
wound.
OF, the pink thing. The brittle star on the skeleton.
You could try it. Looks like it might require getting underneath the seatbelt to see that. Yeah, I think it's on the other side up there. But I'll just sit down here. We can do it from here.
And we're just getting a
This
view
big-
of the sea star, or the brittle star at the bottom here. Go ahead, Tim.
No, this is looks a lot like the Ophio Museum, which is a brittle star that's basically known almost around the world. It's a great example of a very common opioid, but we haven't seen it that much so far in these canyons, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Dramatic. It's really sounds anyway.
I just stirred up a bit of sediment.
Yeah, sorry about that. Watch
Was that a McTofa that just went by?
you wait
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh.
another 15 seconds or so. Crab on the left.
Yeah, if we could get another macro on the OF, and then there's two urchins that I saw, a red one and a white one.
Sediment a bit. Sorry about that. Trying to add some drama to the shot.
And our depth is 1786. Local time is 9:45. Just getting another close-up of this brittle star wrapped around a C-pen.
We're looking at the ventral side of the disc, just like on the last one, tightly wound around the C-pen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tightly wound.
Absolutely, are you happy with that?
Yeah, thanks. Okay,
Great.
and when you zoom out, there's going to be two urchins off to your right. There's a red one, and then a white one in the background.
Okay, let me get out of here.
Yeah, Andrea, looking at these particles in the water, I'm just wondering if there's any current today. Does it comment on any current down there?
Not much current here today. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. You can notice that the sediment that we just stirred up is still kind of hanging in the water here. Fine silt, larger grain sizes as well in there. You can still see it. Yeah, you got that, the little red one? I think this one is different, a different sea urchin than we've seen.
I agree. I think it looks more like a hygrosma. Let me get maybe some closer zooms.
Yeah, the ROV is hovering a little off the bottom. Try not to stir up the sediment. And we have the lasers out, and the lasers are for scale. They are 10 centimeters apart. So we can use the lasers to get size estimates of different organisms we're seeing and geological features on the seafloor. Oh my gosh, sorry. Move, I have to move. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's move to the white one. We have a bit of dust here still, bit of sediment cloud. Yep. Oh, that's great. Very spiny. It's filming a pancake urchin.
Yeah, Andrea, this is Tim doing a comms check. ISC. How do you, loud and clear?
Not very loud.
Roger that, okay.
And you can see the tube feet moving. Yeah, okay, we can pull out and start our move. Another sea pen. Just quick zoom on the sea pen. We don't have to stay long. Oh, is that the first one? Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, we're getting to move to waypoint 1. We're at our ROV bottom target.
Yes, we are at our RV bottom target, depth 1783, and we're
Yeah,
going to
zoom
start
on that.
a move towards our waypoint 1. Looks like we have a hard target about 40 meters out on the Cirrus, or maybe 35 meters out on the Cirrus sonar. So
we would like to request a ship move.
So 3 different species of sea urchins so far, and we haven't moved. We were imaging 2 sea pens that had brittle stars wrapped around the skeleton of the sea pen, and then a different species, a different type of sea pen, brittle star at the base. And here you can see another sea urchin species, very spiny. You can see its tube feet coming out, moving. So an ID on this, hygrosoma, Peter's eye. There's a brittle star as well on the underside of the sea urchin. I'm good with that. You can see it making its way across the surface of the sediment. So just our ROV bottom target was in between our original waypoints 4 and 5?
yes.
Okay. And so now we're moving up to our first waypoint, or which was the old waypoint 4, correct?
Yes.
And our temperature on the bottom here is, gosh, is that 3.9? 3.7.
Yeah, I think it's like a half turn. I wonder if the daisy chain stays on it, it's okay. Yeah, that's what I was concerned about.
Imaging a jellyfish. Looks like the ghosts from Pac-Man. All right.
It would have been ideal if the fish had combined. But these are great. Nice spot, yeah. Turn to the north and look at
And we're just turning to the north, panning left.
midwater fish, top of screen.
And are we moving?
That is correct, Science. The ship is moving towards waypoint 1 at 0.1 knots.
And when you're ready, just if you could come back down to the surface a little bit to get a better view.
Sure, I think this is my best spot from before when I'm following us.
Okay, we're moving over mostly soft sediment, although there appears to be some scattered hard substrate. Not a lot of current here today. Our depth is 1783. Local time is 9:55. Looks like another sea pen in the back here.
Do you want to zoom on this website?
Yeah, just as we're moving over, quick zoom's fine.
Quick zoom on this video for an idea.
Yep, but the same species as sea pen and has an ophiuroid brittle star wrapped around.
Stays in the background. Happy with that website?
Roger.
Alright, start video.
And then as we move
also
over,
a
there's a
fish.
fish in the background there too.
Copy that. How am I doing, Copilot? You can do what you can, but you don't have much more tether. I'll stay here. Let's do a zoom on that fish for an ID video. I'm at the end of the tether here. So.
Oh, it's a eel pout wrapped around, curved. And as you, oh, that's great, thanks. So we're taking an image of an eel pout or zoarcid. That's great, yeah. And then when you zoom back out, there is a request from shore. There's something on the right of the sea pen.
That's good because it's closer to me. Yeah. You do have to go in. No, you don't have to go. You're still in front of the moon. Yeah. You just can't go any further. I see a couple small little stock things.
Yeah, could you zoom in on that? Yeah. Oh, that's why I can't see it. I don't have my glasses on. Ah, much better.
Go ahead and zoom in.
There's a shrimp in the background here.
Website, are you seeing?
I am not seeing.
Yeah.
Can zoom back out?
Add a little white thing.
She's saying another sea pen.
Let's do, I'm gonna get set up here.
Pan out. Yeah. All right,
Yeah, I don't see it from
we
here.
can keep going.
Good. Moving to the south. Sounds like a good time. Rocks. Yeah. Well, the camera's already recorded.
Okay, scattered rocks. Sea star on the bottom there. Another of the same, that white species we saw.
More rocks over here too. So we hit the stop. Good.
Picking up more hard substrate here. There's a white sea urchin, that same species that we saw earlier. Fewer fishes today. We are deeper today than we have been throughout this cruise. We're at a depth of 1782 meters.
You want to stretch out in that direction, briefly, Carl, and figure out if that's a cliff or just
And we're at the interface here between soft sediment at the base of a large scarp.
Given 102 cliffs. Yeah. Just right out in front of me. Yeah. You can guarantee that's not 100 meters.
And there's scattered debris from the scarp you can see off to the left.
You want to get my pilot cam as a wall cam? As a pilot cam? Sometimes I enjoy it.
We're at a bottom depth of 1781. Our temperature is 3.7 and our local time is 10 a.m.
potential fuzzy and the white stuff to collect lasers. So I started at 1780.
Hey, Andrea.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, there's some. We're noticing some brown tubes up at the ski floor. Not very abundant, but we see them occasionally. Shirley Pomponi here noticed them and want to know what they might be.
Okay. Go ahead, pilot.
There's one
Sorry.
behind us,
I
but
was saying we're just doing a quick survey of the wall to see if we're safe to move Cirrus.
Okay.
It does appear to be wall-like though.
And then we can come back down.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just getting a survey of the wall for safety reasons. And we'll come back down and get a close-up of the brown tubes.
I'd say Cirrus is perfect to watch me, so I'll do a survey of the wall with Cirrus. Yeah.
And we're at a depth of 1776.
As soon as you're ready to move up, I'm comfortable going up there. Yeah, that looks like the top.
This wall is fairly barren, not a lot of colonization here.
It's not really
At
a
least by
wall yet either.
conspicuous.
It's just steeper. So still has a lot of sediment cover on it as well. And perhaps more of the carbonate cemented rock material, but we'll need to get a view that we were seeing yesterday, but we'll need to get a close up and get Jason to weigh in.
Moving up, you can shake. Urchin on the left.
Another urchin on the bottom left.
What was the depth range we were at yesterday?
Yesterday we were at about 1,000 meters, 1,100 to 900 meters yesterday.
Okay. I would expect it's a different rock type, given that almost a kilometer thick section.
Yeah.
Be unlikely, but you never know. I'm learning new things out here all the time.
Yeah, exactly. This is another species of sea urchin. I think this is our 4th one so far.
Yeah.
This looks different.
Sounds, we'll just get a quick snap soon, but ideas we're continuing down.
Okay.
So what was the interest down here? I don't know if there was any, we just had looked. Okay, video. Stable now if you want to get a zoom on that stuff. I was still on my way down before.
Looked like an amphipod or something was hovering above it, or a shrimp. Oh no, is that a little fish?
Yeah, looks like a fish.
Or a shrimp, I can't tell. Another brittle star.
That was good.
You can see its tube feet out again.
Shut it. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like a...
Taking an image of a sea urchin and a
Can't
chinoderm.
believe it, I did. Yeah, I've noticed that. I wonder if it's not the, something in the motors. Yeah, they turn on quick, that overshoot when they turn on. Yeah.
I think it's a invert. And then there's a little invertebrate of some sort at the top here. Oh, there you go.
Wesley, do you want a more close-up of this guy?
Yeah, that would be great. Can we go in any further?
Under the wooden bench right on the port side, there should be a machine parts drawer.
Actually see several brittle stars on the face of this scarp on this rock substrate.
It's one of those little bugs. Excuse my science stuff. You mean a polychaete? That's right.
nice polychaete worm.
Oh, it's a polychaete.
Looks like to me.
Yeah.
Shiny gold podia. Walks around.
Polychaete worm on top of this urchin. That's very cool. That's great. Macro video. And we're coming back out and back to Tim. There is a request to get close-ups of the tubes coming out of the rock, or were there a few white sponges? I saw one maybe.
I also saw something purple directly to the right of the lasers on the wall. Do you want to look at that? Yeah, that's the white.
No, please wide. Thanks. Hold on just a second, Roland. Let me get
Yes.
from shore.
Maybe there's one in the view now, just to the left of that urchin on the sediment, but I'm not sure. There's tanned and brown little stalks coming out of the seafloor that look like tubes. For difficult times, they're not really abundant. I suggest we keep an eye on it.
Okay.
As we go.
Can we pan right?
Yep, kind of right. This is very light sediment here on the wall. So there he is.
Yeah, very fine sediment. Not a lot of current here.
Just turned over the sea urchin.
Oh no. Little red guy there, Paul. Watch this little red guy in the crack was your...
No, we're looking for like tubes coming out of the surface. So if we can continue to pan right. Thanks.
Alright. So tubes in the sediment or in the rock?
I think in the sediment covering the rock.
Kind of up and to the right?
Yeah.
A lot of brown.
I didn't see him.
Only tubes I've seen are in the sediment so far from my perspective.
And let's zoom in on the sediment here.
Okay. Video pretty stable here. Let's zoom in on the sediment.
This is him at the IEC. Do you read?
Go ahead, Tim. There's a sponge. Yep. You can pan down.
Down.
Roger.
After we get the sediment, I think we'll go wide on those.
There it is. Yep. On the left.
Ah, okay. So we can go up forward here. Not bad, Carl.
Is that a glass sponge? There's a white stalk behind the sponge as well.
The white stalk in the frame now, actually.
Yep, that's good. And we can zoom back out whenever you guys are done.
Let's go out.
Video, they're saying that URI coming in quietly, maybe on our end.
This is Okeanos video listening to the intercom. If URI, if you could just
If you could pan right and up.
communicate to us so I can check levels.
Is it this dark thing with pink thing?
This is Okeanos
You can zoom in
video
on that while we're
to
over here.
URI on the OKEX channel. Do you copy? Just trying to get a level
Roger.
check.
You're coming in loud and clear, do you read?
Yep.
You're coming in
You
loud
guys seem to be
clear.
coming to me about 20-25% low
The video, let's go
across the OKEX channel.
He's same level as the ship here in the hub.
Yep. Agreed. Okay. Hub seems low as well. It all comes to me via the OKEX party line.
Ooh, look at that.
Maximum zoom.
We have a brittle star on the sponge and the rock, and then what is that green? Is that another sponge? Or a tunicate? And we're zoomed in on organisms on the seafloor here that are only just a few centimeters.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of boring in the rock here, burrowing. It's heavily bioeroded. Yeah, you can come out when you're done. All right, ship's shore side, excuse me. Is there anything else you'd like zoom in on here?
No, I think we're good here.
All right, we can continue moving towards waypoint 1.
So we're done with the cliff face here?
Yeah, Roger. We'll start moving.
You guys want to get the ship moving? I'll pop up. Alright. Go ahead, man. Alright, I'm going to call him another 20 meter. Alright, so I'm in. Bridge is it now.
And we're moving towards our first waypoint. We're at a depth of 1780. We have fine layer of sediment cover here on this hard substrate. There's another white ophiuroid, or brittle star. And we're moving up slope towards waypoint 1.
You want to get a quick zoom on the sustaining? So pull it down.
Now there's not a lot of colonization on this rock here. We did see just a few sponges, but not like the past few dives where, actually yesterday we had fairly bare rock as well.
Yeah, and this one also, you can still see the sediment cover on parts of it as well.
So once you have your still video, we can go on. Scientific is a pink item on the upper right, like a...
Hey Andrew, this is Jason. I've been taking a look at some of the data that we have over this area, some seismic reflection profiles.
Floating, is that a jelly?
And it does look like it could very well be the same, if not the same, rock, something within the same stratigraphic sequence. So it's very likely that you're looking at similar aged rocks and potentially similar composition.
So possibly Eocene age rocks.
Possibly. I'm still working on that at some aging of these rocks. I'm trying to get out some well logs that are nearby to get a better sense of where these guys fit time-wise. But I think pretty much similar rocks. It's a tough, it's a complex bottom here, so it's hard to get a good sense of where things are relative to the subsurface. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the end it turned out to be in a similar time range, in some similar composition as yesterday.
Yeah, we noted yesterday that the rocks seem to be stronger. We don't see a lot of detachments from the rock. We did see a bit of debris or rock rubble, if you will, but not these large block detachments that we observed in Hydrographer Canyon.
Yeah.
And in terms of age, when we say Eocene, that's about 50 million years ago?
55 to 30, 33 or 34.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a chance they could be even Cretaceous, which takes us back beyond 65 million years. But you know, there's a lot of hand waving given that there are only pictures of the rocks.
Can we zoom in on the brittle stars on the sponge?
Just yesterday to today, it looks very, very similar to both days. Now, obviously, as you've said, it's really hard to tell without being able to take samples, but certainly carbonate, cemented, with a lot of bio-boring happening. So,
yeah, the brittle star, the pink, yeah, that's great.
I have to step away, but I'll be back again soon.
okay, have fun.
Don't do any fun geology without me.
We'll try not to, Jason.
Okay.
Thank you. A couple more brittle stars. These are Ophiocanthid-like. Okay, and let's continue. And we were just filming a sponge that appeared to be dead with several Ophiocanthid brittle stars. There's a serpulid worm as well. We're getting a note back on shore from Dr. Les Watling that you know, he's thinking that there's several holes and burrows here. Could have been made from bivalves. Just a quick zoom. There's red underneath the ledge there. And pan down. Correct, and then there's a sponge next to it as well. Yep. We have staining on the rock and then the sponge. We have a sponge expert with us today at URI. I don't know, Shirley Pomponi, if you've seen this species. I think we've seen this species during this cruise. Fairly one of the more common conspicuous sponges that we've seen. It is a hexactinellid sponge or a glass sponge, and the genus may be Heterotella. So when we say glass sponge, the spicules are very glass-like. Yeah, there's a few cup corals at the base there. I'm not sure if they're alive or not. There's 3. There's an anemone. And Shirley is noting that often these sponges have a pair of shrimps inside, living inside the sponge.
I'll just come up, take a look at the corals, and then we'll have to get out and move on. Thank you.
Oh, we're getting really good zoomed in video here at the base of the sponge. And there's 3 cup corals surrounding it.
You're good, cool.
They appear to be dead to me. The
Yeah,
one
they
on the
didn't
left-
look.
yep.
Yeah, they didn't look alive,
Ship move is
but very small too. So
bottom of the screen. Copy that. So you should continue to swim. But
Those small corals up to the right.
Yeah, there was
On
A
and
little
on.
further to the right, I couldn't tell if there was a pink anemone or a solitary octocoral polyp.
yeah, it looked like an anemone.
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Corals here.
We have Swiftia on top of the wall here, and it looks like a Paramyricia. So we'll want to snap zoom on those corals, the red one and then the one with the brittle star.
I'm gonna look right for a second, Paul.
You guys have a lag today. It seems a little bit longer.
And again, in comparison to yesterday, the first time that we have some hints of the cup corals are under an overhang, which was very similar to yesterday.
Yeah. That's right. Most of these cup corals are growing underneath. And there's a
that
brittle
another one on
star
the stalk
on the
there?
Swiftia. Yeah, it's other species that we've seen on the sediment.
Yeah.
Here we go. Paragorgia. Excuse me, not a Paragorgia, Paramyricia. It appears with a brittle star, possibly Astroschema.
Is that a pecnogonid at the base?
Maybe. Can you pan to the base and get a close image of the base? Actually, these oafs here at the base look to be a little different than the ones we saw down below on the soft sediment. Yep, we have a sea spider.
Walking sticks? Yeah. Yeah.
Is that another small coral on the right? Paramyricia.
Okay.
Okay, we're good science-wise, but when we zoom back out, there was a brittle star on the red coral I'd like to take a closer look into.
Also have a walking stick just at the base of the spider. What was that, John? I'm talking with Chip. So is there a zoom on this primary feed? So what are your thoughts, Brian? Should I bring us back?
Coral and brittle star, yep.
Do you want to pull out? Yeah, could you go out? Set a corner around there. Yeah, it's not the best position. Watchfeed also noted those little walking sticks again. Whatever's one at the base of that spider. Okay. But we're pretty far out.
Yeah.
So science, do you think you're going to stay here for longer than 10 minutes? Or are we going to be moving pretty soon?
No, I think we're going to be moving pretty soon. Just want to get a better zoom on the brittle star on the red coral here, and then maybe the different stick-like objects coming out of the substrate, and then we can keep moving.
Okay, copy that. So video, what's going on this little star on the coral?
And there's another coral in the back there on the right. Didn't appear to have a lot of polyps on it, live polyps. And we are currently at 1775 meters. Our local time is 10:25, and we're imaging an octocoral, genus Swiftia, with a brittle star wrapped around here. a bit hard here to get settled in, but getting it now. Take a zoom of this brittle star on Swiftia. And if you note, there's two different species of brittle stars, one at the base on the sediment and one wrapped around. And these species that we're seeing at the base, I don't believe we've ever seen that particular species wrapped around corals themselves. We usually find certain species of brittle stars are associated with certain hosts of corals. I think that's all we're going to get, Tim.
Yeah, you guys have to come up over this leg.
Okay. I also thought I saw Atlantis just below that Swiftia.
Can we zoom in? Hold on just a second. Can we zoom in on those sticks right there that are coming out?
If we're gonna stay here for much longer, coming back seriously, I'd rather have a view of myself. I can just turn and look at you, but I'm not moving. I don't want to go up the hill this way, but I think we'll just have you push up before we start shivering again. Okay, Rexy. What was it you wanted?
Yep, zoom the yellow stick-like.
Gotcha.
And there's a few more Swiftia here. You see two on the left. Yep, it's in center screen now.
Okay, video, let's zoom on this pole. Okay.
All right, that's great. And then a zoom in on the brittle star.
We're back down to the brittle star. There it is.
Okay, Tim, are you okay with that? We're not really seeing the disc here.
That's okay. I think it's. I think I'm good with that.
Okay, and then if you pan out, zoom out.
We go wide video?
So before we leave here, back to that red coral we were at. I'm sorry. Pan right. Okay, coming into the right of the video screen, there was another red coral. Looks maybe to be a different species. Okay, it's coming up here, getting closer to your lasers.
Are we going back for the brittle star on it?
Nope, below. It's below your lasers on the right.
The red bushy one?
Yep.
Okay.
And we're at a depth of 1775 meters. Our local time is 10:30 a.m.
The video, let's zoom on this red bushy one. Take the rock and zoom away.
Antimathis, first one of the day, right?
Yeah, it looks like Antimathist.
Go ahead, Rich.
I don't see the bulbous base. Are we sure that's not a C-pen?
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it either, but
I do.
Actually, no, can you go back in, please?
I just don't see the polyps arising from, you know, the fist-like base.
Play the video. Let's go ahead.
Huh.
Is that a good frame, Watson?
That's wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, let's not go in any more video.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell here. So Scott, you think this is a C-pen?
I don't know. Those polyps are in the way.
Yeah.
It's more likely Anthomastus. There aren't too many C-pens that'll grow on a hard base like this, but there are some. But this is probably Anthomastus.
It looks to be a small yellow polyp. All right. Okay, let's come wide. Shoreside, is there anything else you'd like to see here?
no, that's fine, Andrew. Just some small things on the right here. Other than that, I think we're good.
Okay, there's another on the right of this rock, another small pink thing.
Can we go full video? So can we, I see the pink thing. Just swing around a bit. Yep.
And then there's another white sponge to the right of your lasers I'd like to view.
Oh, down?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that one first. Slow it down a bit. Ready to... Okay, yes, ready to zoom.
It's another oaf on the sponge.
Walking still to the base of the sponge.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, another amphipod at the base.
Can we go out a bit video?
And so the sponge was another hexactinellid glass sponge. Okay, I think we're fine with that, and then up to the pink on top of that rock. There's several Paramyrcia colonies here. Single stalks. Looks like a single Anthomastus polyp. What do you guys think?
That's a very good guess.
Okay, you can pan up. If you zoom back in and pan up. And there's a pink up top too. If you just pan up, you'll get both, I think. If you can pan up. Yeah, there's a small Paramyrcia colony, another potentially Anthomastus single polyp. And then on the right, there was another sponge. We can come up over the cliff. We're going to move up over the cliff. We're having difficulty holding the spot. So our depth is 1775. We're coming over the top here of this cliff. Thin veneer of sediment covering several small coral colonies again here. We've seen Paramyrcia, octocoral, Anthomastus, a few Swiftia, and at least 3 or 4 species of glass sponges. Most of the coral colonies had brittle stars associated with them. And we're seeing different species inhabiting the coral colonies versus those that are inhabiting the seafloor. And we're starting our move back to waypoint 1, or up to waypoint 1, upslope.
Yes, we are moving up to waypoint 1, and for those interested from the dive planning talk last night, waypoint 1 today is the equivalent of waypoint 5 in our conversations last night.
Another C-pen. Can you pan left and snap zoom?
Is that a new C-pen you haven't seen before?
I think so. I don't recall seeing this one.
Tylosarcus-like, I think.
I don't know, Tim, what do you guys think there? I feel like there are more brittle stars on the surface here than we've seen in previous dives. Besides those really tiny ones, of course, that are sticking out of the sediment with their arms sticking out.
Yeah, Andrea, those the smaller ones were probably more abundant than what we're seeing today. To see these Okeanos, that's what we're calling them, in the sediment.
A frame coral.
Sort of impressive today. So yeah, I agree. That's good to see.
Mm-hmm. And there's another one at the base as well.
You see other smaller ophiuroids here in some of the little holes.
Yes, sticking their arms out.
Classic C-pen, you can nicely see the bulbous base that it inflates in order to anchor itself in the mud.
Getting really great close-up imagery here of this C-pen. You can see the individual polyps.
You can also see the tissue is kind of transparent and inflated around that single white axial skeleton, which is called the rachis.
Yeah, this is great video. We rarely get to see this up close. like this.
Yeah,
In
you
situ.
can count the tentacles here on the polyps, each having 8.
Sounds like you're doing good, Ken. Sounds like you're doing good. Is it going to count the polyps?
For listeners unfamiliar, sea pens are interesting. The overall colony that you're looking at here is actually one single giant polyp, and sticking off the side are what are called polyp leaves, and each of these individual small polyps where you're seeing the tentacles are budding off of that one giant one that's actually anchored into the sediments.
I think it's interesting to see that it's able to turn almost 180 while we've been sitting here.
Yeah, we're not turning. It's a good point to make. The sea pen just gave us a really good view.
Wow, posing for the camera.
Yeah. And we have the lasers on for scale. Okay, that's a great video, guys. You can keep moving when you're ready. We're just doing a little more imaging here. Our depth is 1770 and our time is 10:43 a.m. Today is the 16th of July and we are off the coast of the northeastern United States, surveying a deep canyon wall on the east side of Atlantis Canyon. We launched the ROV D2 off the ship Okeanos Explorer at about 8:15 a.m. and landed on the bottom at around 9:30 a.m. We are currently on the ship. My name is Andrea Quattrini. I am a PhD student at Temple University, and Dr. Brendan Rourke from Texas A&M is sitting here to the left of me, and we're chatting with several people, both in a chat room online as well as over the phone, including folks from all over the country and colleagues from France.
That's right. We have 28 users on the IM channel right now.
I didn't mean the ship. I know you. I would like you to
Tim Shank, Taylor Heil, and Kelly Williams and Carrie McCulloch are at the Inner Space Center at the University of Rhode Island with us online and on the phone today, as well as Scott France from University of Louisiana Lafayette. Dr. Amanda Demopoulos is on the phone with us too, United States Geological Survey in Gainesville, Florida, and Jason Shader from the USGS in Woods Hole is on the phone. Anybody else joined us yet on the phone today? Okay, and we're going to continue up the scarp here. Hard substrate is protruding, and you can see a thin veneer of sediment overlaying this rock scarp. Several Paramyricea colonies here.
Hi, Andrea. The Atnoyer lab is also online.
Hi, AJ. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Doing well. We have come across already at least 3, 4, 5 species of octocorals, 2 different species of sea pens. We've also observed some cup corals underneath a ledge, but those did appear to be dead, and at least 4 or 5 different species of sponges. Also picked up several sea urchins today that we haven't seen before on previous dives. And we are a little deeper today than we have been, but this is a new area that we're exploring right now. For our viewers out there, you're seeing the seafloor with us for the first time. This is exciting. We have really great thing about telepresence too is that we have, you know, as Brendan just mentioned, 28 people with us. So 30 experts, experts in various groups, various organisms, various regions worldwide in the deep sea. And we're all exploring and learning together here what's on the east wall of Atlantis Canyon. We also have a great ROV team and a stellar videography team. And I want to pan left. There's a pink coral coming up. Yep. Yep, the pink. And we have Josh, Carl, and Tom in the front row. Roland doing all the camera work. Brendan is sitting next to me, clipping videos. And Brian Bingham leading these ops here today from the University of Hawaii. And we're just gonna get a close-up view of this pink coral. Yeah, Scott, I'm thinking this could be Chrysogorgia as well. We'll see when we get a closer look. And Tim, we often see shrimps associated with Chrysogorgia. That's what it appears to be. Let's see. Get this in view, the lighting. And yeah, Walter Cho is with us today and noting that we've been seeing some new ophiuroid brittle stars. Yeah, are we gonna go back in? Okay. We're setting up to go back in and get a better view here. Yes, this is a really good image of Chrysogorgia, another octocoral. We are currently at a depth of 1769 and a bottom temperature of 3.7 degrees. And we'll update the lat and long here in a second too. And then when you guys are done with this, there's going to be a sponge up to the right. Yeah, if you're finished.
So you see the associate?
Yes, we do. There is an associate in the center. Can you get a closer zoom, or are we as close as we can?
That is maximum zoom. We'd like to know that it's overshooting the coral before.
No, let's stay here for a moment.
You just got it in there, pilot. Just lit up. You're welcome.
I'm not sure yet. This associate is hiding. Actually, there's two. There's another one down below. Looks like a